He's local. Certified financial planner Jason Qualls. Financial Coaching Radio. Weekdays at 4 on News Radio WGNS. The Good Neighbor Network. FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro. FM 100.5 Smyrna. And online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Good morning. This is Bill Kraus on a wonderful Thursday morning. It's just so nice out there, and boy, you get spring fever, and you want to sneeze first because of the allergies, and then you want to smile because the sun is up. We have an old friend coming back. He's been on with us twice before on the Roundtable, and I always look forward to him because he knows my choices and loves of music and what have you. This is an individual who has a buffet of experience that is so fascinating. Career Army personnel for many, many years. In fact, concluded his Army duty as Inspector General in Europe, which is a very, very specifically responsible job. Is a musician and very significant in it, as well as a full-time professor in the accounting fields at Montville State. So this is a man of many talents, many skills, and many, many wonderful experiences. And we're so pleased to have Dick Fitzgerald back with us. Welcome, Dick.
It's Bob. We'll go by Bob.
I know. I was just trying to kind of see.
Yeah, you see if I'm awake or not.
After I said, my old friend and what have you. Yes. So, Bob, welcome back.
Thank you.
Introduce your associate, who also has a phenomenal background.
I own a music studio here in town, Johnny Guitars Music.
And where is it?
It's 270 Northwest Broad. It's in the Jackson Heights shopping plaza, tucked in behind Toots and the Louisiana seafood restaurant.
Okay.
We're co-located with the Sozo Dance Studio. Jimmy's been with me for probably 12, 13, maybe 15 years.
Jimmy Anderson.
Jimmy Anderson.
Right,
and,
not Dick Anderson,
and,
Jimmy Anderson.
I know you're going to pick his brain later as we go through, but he's just an incredible musician and does a lot of his own songs, and I love listening to his music because most of his songs are like those old storytelling kind of songs.
Almost like, what's his name, Hall? Tom
T. Hall?
Tom T. Hall. Why we have these two gentlemen, besides being great musicians, is the fact that we always think of Nashville as Music City, but we don't necessarily think of the suburbs and the areas within Middle Tennessee also producing a cadre of musicians and a cadre of songwriters and a cadre all contributing to the fact that the entire area is producing. And you two gentlemen certainly reflect that phenomena that's in the Rutherford County area. So, what do we go? Let's first have Jimmy tell us about his background, beginning with the beautiful state of Texas.
Yes, I was born in Texas. I lived there probably till my mid-20s, late 20s, and then got my bachelor's degree, taught music out there at public school, and I just didn't feel like I was done learning. So I moved to Tennessee, studied at MTSU, got my master's degree.
In jazz, of all
jazz,
things.
yeah.
You don't imagine somebody going for jazz when they're from Texas and you don't think of old twang music, down by the riverside.
Well, country music is everywhere out in Texas.
Yes.
And I tell you what, I've been running from country music all my life. And,
and here you are.
And here I am.
City.
And it's just like... it makes you question the plan of everything, if everything's planned out. I just kind of these days I've just accepted that.
Before talking, Bob, let's have a song.
Okay.
Let's kind of get in the mood so I can do a little singing. No, I'm not going to
Alrighty.
sing. I'll turn the audience off with that.
Well, I know how much you enjoy John Denver's music, so I always try to dig out a John Denver song. And this one, I think... most of us, at least at my age, can kind of relate to because, especially growing up, maybe if you grew up out in the country, this is one's Grandma's Featherbed.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little bitty boy just up off the floor, we used to go out to Grandma's house every month end or so. We had chicken pie, country ham, homemade butter on the bread. But the best darn thing about Grandma's house was a great big feather bed. Well, it was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese, took a whole boat of cloth for the tick. It'll hold 8 kids and 4 hound dogs, a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, after supper we'd sit around the fire, the old folks would spit and chew. Grandpa'd talk about the farm and the war, and Granny'd sing a ballad or two. Well, I'd sit and listen and I'd watch the fire till the cobwebs filled my head. The next thing I know, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the old feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese, took a whole boat of cloth for the tick. It'll hold 8 kids and 4 hound dogs, a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, I love my ma and I love my pa, love Granny and Grandpa too. I went fishing with my uncle, I wrestled with my cousin, I even kissed Aunt Lou. But if I ever had to make a choice, I guess that ought to be said, that I'd trade it all plus a gal down the road for Grandma's feather bed. Yeah, I'd trade it all plus a gal down the road. Well, maybe not the gal down the road for Grandma's feather bed.
Hey, very good. That should get everybody up. That should get your adrenaline going. A good strong cup of coffee and a bit of Bob Fitzgerald, and that should make everybody's day. Are we going to have a counter to that, Jimmy? You going to do something special?
Well, I'm going to do a song that I wrote. This song is about the joys of fatherhood.
Oh, wow, wow. Maybe we should have held this to Father's Day coming up. But very good. Let's hear A Joy to Fatherhood.
Well, grab me a number, get into place. It's feeling a shame, showing my face. I've been waiting all week for the money to come through. And now I'm standing in line 'cause my baby needs new shoes. Well, I ain't got no cash, I ain't got no style. I'm lucky if my car makes a quarter of a mile. This situation has got me feeling blue. Just a standing in line with my baby's new shoe blues. Well, the government said they wrote me a check. I tell ya, I ain't seen nothing yet. Government said that money is mine, but I got the feeling they're wasting my time. Baby, he's hungry. Baby needs clothes. Baby needs something to cover his toes. I've been waiting all week for the money to come through. And now I'm standing in line with my baby's new shoe blues. Oh, well, the government said they wrote me a check. I tell ya, I ain't seen nothing yet. Government said that money is mine, but I got the feeling they're wasting my time. Baby, he's crying. Baby is mad. Baby is yelling at poor dear old dad. I've been waiting all week for the money to come through. And now I'm standing in line with my baby's new shoe blues. just stand in line with my baby's new shoe blues.
Very good. As you were playing and singing, I was trying in my own mind to relate. I see a fusion between country and jazz.
Yes.
So the instructors at MTSU were doing the job that they had you infuse. There's a certain jazz emphasis of your country, so I'm very pleased. Let's talk about, you have a brand new student, or how do you ultimately know that a young man or young woman who comes to your music school is interested, passionate, dedicated, and the ability to learn how to play an instrument? How would you be able to size somebody up? Do they just walk in the door and say, I want to be a big hit, I want to be a multi-million-dollar Taylor Swift?
Well, I guess one of the first things you look for is, do they have a sense of rhythm? Can they keep a pulse? Another thing is, do they have a sense of pitch? You know, those are two of the starting factors. But a lot of it is, are they self-motivated? A lot of times I struggle with students that come in is they try to put the onus on me to show them something new every week instead of really taking what I've learned and going home and really practicing it. You know, a 30-minute lesson once a week is I'm really just kind of a guide, and most of the work is on the student. And so the ones that go home and put the work in themselves are the good ones. The great ones are the ones that say, hey, I took what you gave me last week and I've expanded on it, and I've tried this different ways, and I've looked up another song, and I'm ready to do something. You know, they come in with a, hey, show me this. I got a song I want to learn. It's self-motivated in that way.
I think, Bob, that would be just as applicable in your classroom.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's and you know, when you're teaching 25 students at one time, you've got to kind of break it out, because there's some of those, like Jimmy said, who are self-motivated, that are really into it, and there's some that are there just because their parents are paying their way through school, and so they got to sit there.
Well, how many times have you had a student walk into your music school and it's because the parents have been the motivator, and the parents said, I know you've got talent. I know you can be a big star. Make him a big star.
Yeah, that's usually a bad situation. I have adults all the time come and tell me, say, I took piano lessons when I was a kid. I was made to, and I had just hated it. And that's one of the things I try to avoid.
Now, you're a songwriter also.
Yes,
and
sir.
We're talking about that, and we got to chatting about what, and this is such a general question, but what inspires a songwriter? Something on the moment or something on a long-term thought, or both? I
think it can be both. You know, I've had songs in my head that have kind of been stewing for months, if not years. So I've been, you know, I recently, probably 3 or 4 years ago, just gained the ability to record my own songs. And so I had a lot just stewing in my brain for years about song ideas.
Would you be at all willing to share the one song that you wrote that you feel was perhaps one of the most popular or the best in your mind? And you do a lot of talking songs.
I do a lot of talking songs. One of the most popular ones is a song called The Fast Food Soda Bandit. I wrote this song, I guess, in a period of being broke, and there's a little bit of truth to it. And you see people run inside the fast food store, and they run in and grab them a soda, and they run out right quick. And so, not saying that I did that myself, but this is just kind of in that vein and that inspiration. So that's the wrong key.
Okay, turn the lock.
Well, it happened just the other day. I was traveling down the old highway. I found my lips were getting dry, so I stopped in the old stopping by. I reached in my pocket and pulled out air, and I looked up to a bunch of angry stares. I asked if I could get a loan, and that's when I realized I was alone. I guess there are no friends when it comes to money. Well, Well, I thanked the man, then away I ran down the street in my own 2 feet. I had no money and I had no car, and then what did I happen to see it for? Well, it's a corporate logo for a fast food chain. Then the idea went through my brain. Grab me a cup and dash on in, fill it up and then away again. Besides, anyway, they had 16 taps a going. They had 23 flavors of flowing and free refills. Well, once I got myself out the door, I didn't know if I could take much more. My heart was thumping, my legs were pumping. I realized seriously I'd stolen something. Well, I walked away, my lips no longer dry, telling myself I'm no criminal guy. That drink lasted about an hour or two, and then I figured I needed another one soon. And it was then that I realized that I had in fact become a full-blown soda criminal. Well, after 1 or 2 or 3 days, I got me a job and I got me some pay. With my drink gone, I could buy more, but it wasn't as much fun as robbing the store. Well, I gave them $1, they gave me my cup. I walked on over and filled it up, picked out my flavor and picked out my taste, making sure that none went to waste. And it was there that I beheld above that fountain machine a sign which read, "Refills are for paying customers only." Well, it seems to me I bought that cup. I can come back anytime and fill it up. I bought it once and now it's mine. I can come and refill it any old time. Well, now I bet that you're thinking that I've been doing too much drinking. Don't worry about it, I gave it up. I don't want no more, throw away my cup. Besides, anyhow, that stuff will kill you.
I hope you didn't give anybody any ideas out there. We may see a rash of fast foods, drinks, and so forth. We will take a quick break, and then I want to hear, Jimmy, how you came up with that song. Did it take a long time, or did you go by a fast foods restaurant and thought, you sat there drinking a soft drink and you thought, I got a song out of this? We'll be right back, folks.
Tire World's annual at-cost tire sale is finally here. For 1 week only, all passenger and light truck tire brands will be sold at cost, plus an additional 20% off the installation. Want more? Okay. Get up to another $100 back by double dipping with manufacturer rebates. The sale is short, but the savings are huge. That's because Tire World doesn't put discount in its name, it puts the discount in your pocket.
At Tire World, we keep your family rolling.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Online at rayburn.net.
Landfills are complex, dynamic, and ever-evolving environments. Our operators start from the ground up. Middle Point is a modern facility constructed with a highly engineered liner system that meets every safety and regulatory standard in the book. We're the subject of multiple at-random inspections, have active air quality, groundwater, stormwater, and solid waste permits, and are compliant with all local, state, and federal regulations. Learn more at middlepointlandfill.com. For public services, we are sustainability in action.
This message for all the men out there. Ladies, cover your ears. If you've been feeling tired and grumpy and have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, have weight gain and loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. And at Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. It's as simple as a blood test with their on-site lab, and they'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. What I love about Low T Center is it's geared towards us, men. They know we don't like to wait around. They know we're impatient, and they know that we like things simple. For for me at times, that means making things a little more simple to understand, too, because we're guys, and we're more focused on heading home to start working on that project car in the garage. Who knows what you're thinking? We're guys, there's no telling. But let me recommend Low T Center. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment there, and they have the affordable and convenient treatment options that include physician-monitored self-inject at-home treatment for their established patients, shipping treatments directly to you. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. For more than 30 years, my team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. Over that time, we've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
For 77 years, you've depended on WGNS for letting you know what's happening here at home. Would you like to learn more about our local history? This Saturday, come on over to the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse and talk with friends from the Rutherford County Historical Society. That's any time between 9 and noon this Saturday, plus free coffee and donuts there. Ransom School is at 717 North Academy Street. Also, there are 2 grief support group meetings every week here in Murfreesboro. One is at 10 Wednesday mornings at the St. Clair Street Senior Center, and the other is the day after that. It's a walking grief support tour, and they start walking Thursday mornings at 9:30, right there at the picnic shelter at Oakland's Park, next to Oakland's Mansion. And they're both free. The Technology Engagement Center over on Minerva Drive is offering free computer classes, Mondays at 3:30 and Tuesdays at 2:30. They're both free, and this is a part of the Rutherford County Library System. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor Events.
Rutherford weather.
Skies become mostly sunny this afternoon, high in the upper 60s. Tonight, a slight chance for rain late, increasing clouds, a low near 49. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 48.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. United Communications, MTE's internet company, is growing fast and will continue to expand on its more than 3,600 route miles of fiber, covering portions of Rutherford and surrounding counties with 99.99% reliability.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
This is Bill Kraus again, the second segment of the WGNS Roundtable, and having 2 guests, 2 friends, who are bringing live not only their music, but what creates the music. What's the creation of a song? And Jimmy, after you just played that last one, stealing sodas out of a fast food restaurant, what prompted you to write that song? What kind of mood do you have to be in? I'd like to try to get in the heart and the brain of a songwriter and see, is it just driving down the street and something turns you on? And talk about the impact of that song in the most unexpected part of the world.
Well, that song was based, in fact, we were sitting in the Woodbury McDonald's and watching the high school kids come in and just fill up their cups and leave.
Oh, I don't know if we want to publicize that, but, out of fact comes music.
That's right. And so we're just making jokes and about it, and I don't know, I do sometimes I'll just in a way start just kind of rapping or just speaking words, and they just kind of turn into song lyrics.
Did you have that as a very young man, a boy, child?
No, I would say for most of my life I was focused on music first. I got my bachelor's degree in percussion, did like symphonic work, and
wow.
And then, like I said, come out here to work on my jazz skills. The songwriting really didn't come about, I would say, until the pandemic came about, and you just start questioning things and thinking about things, and I'd be like, my whole life I've just been playing live music and never really recorded anything. I need to get some things down just to be permanent.
Talk about where that song became very popular. I love that story.
Looking on the stats of where it's played, the Ukraine is where that song has been played the most.
Shortly before the attack by the Russians.
Yeah. I started recording in 2020, and that was probably one of and I was think that was on my second album. I've recorded 12 albums now.
Wow. You have one in the mental block right now, the mental possibility?
Oh, sure.
Creation of one. You don't suppose the Russians invaded Ukraine looking for a soft drink in Kiev?
Goodness, I hope I wasn't the start.
I know, that would just totally change world history. Bob, before we have you play a song, you teach accounting, and you're teaching numbers, and you're teaching 2 + 2 = 4, plus, and so forth. Can you relate anywhere the relationship between teaching the organization of numbers and the organization of musical notes?
Well, it's easier to equate the numbers to the music because music is so mathematical, and when you really get deep into not so deep, but you get into the theory of music, you realize that it's scientific and mathematical. So if you're a good numbers person, you can grasp that more easily and use that as you're playing and expand on your musical ability. So yeah, there's definitely some correlation between math and numbers in music, absolutely.
Except subtraction. Do you subtract?
Well, sometimes you subtract because there's chords and things that you play that you have to subtract a step or two on some of the notes. And so there's addition and subtraction, yes.
Well, you're going to play a number now. Why? How did you select this number?
Well, we kind of lively this morning, so I wanted to pick something it moves quickly, and I also brought the 12-string in today, so I wanted to match it with a song I typically would play on a 12-string. This is an old Beatles song. The Beatles albums were different in the UK than they were in the United States. They had different songs on them. This one's off Help in the UK, but Rubber Soul in the US.
Is this early Beatle? Or
65.
Okay, about the prime of Beatle.
I've just seen a face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. Had it been another day, I might have looked the other way, and I'd have never been aware. But as it is, I'll dream of her tonight. La da 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 da. Falling, yes, I'm falling. She keeps calling me back again. I have never known the likes of this. I've been alone and I have missed things and kept out of sight. For other girls were never quite like this. La da 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 da. Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. She keeps calling me back again. I've just seen a face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. La da da. Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. Falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. Oh, falling, yes, I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again.
very good. It's kind of interesting, and that's why I asked the year. In the early Beatles, you know, the music was relatively predictable and standard, and of course you heard a lot of Roy Orbison and the Beatles music, and John Denver and the Beatles music, and a lot of the American performers made a great impact on the young Beatles. If you were now looking at a song today, is there a song today that just excites you?
Today's music?
Today's music.
You know, Bill, I'm going to have to,
I don't want to put you in trouble.
No, the people that know me know it's kind of like it was kind of like a tape. My tape starts in 1955 and ends in 1975 and then rewinds and goes back to 55.
Why does that sound so familiar for me? So familiar. And it isn't just age. You know, I'm going to sound like an old fuddy-duddy. I'm going to say that music 50, 60, 70 years ago had a rhythm, had a beat, had a purpose, lyrics, had a point. Although as Jimmy was singing before his song with the soda, I'm not going to forget that for a while, all I could think of was Ray Stevens. And Ray Stevens, of course, one of the most successful people in Middle Tennessee, owned half of Music Row, etc., and has a club right now.
Look, Ethel.
Oh, yes. Could you do that one?
No, I don't know. That's the only part of that song I know.
Yes.
Oh, my God. But yeah, that is kind of similar, yeah.
Absolutely. What got you into music originally, Bob?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I'm the youngest, and there's a big difference. My oldest sister is 14 years older than I am, so she became my surrogate parent. Parents said, hey, you know, you babysit the kid. And so she was very influential. So when she was 17, I was 3, and she was 17 in 1956.
So she was in the music from the 40s, big band sound.
Well, if she was 17 in 56, it was Elvis, Buddy Holly, and so I can still remember sitting in the car listening to the radio, and everywhere we went, we were listening to rock and roll, to the point that when I was 3 years old, my grandmother bought me a guitar, which was a full-size guitar, which is bigger than I was, and I would memorize Elvis Presley lyrics, and then my mother would have her little coffees and teas, and I would perform for the ladies, banging on the guitar, singing "Love Me Tender" and
isn't that
Hound
cute? Look at the
and
little
stuff
boy,
like
isn't he
that.
cute?
And yeah, exactly. And so, you know, I was playing some kind of an instrument from that time on. Went through piano and then drums, and then finally when I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, it's like, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow. And do you remember the 2 first official rock and roll songs in 1954-55?
Well, I'd say it's "Rock Around the Clock" and "Rocket 88" Baby with Ike Turner. What would be yours?
Try Chuck Berry.
Okay.
Certainly. And try "Life Could Be a Dream." Shaboom, shaboom. And so forth, actually. And there were 2 different recordings of Shaboom in 1955. Both hit the charts. One of the only times in music history that 2 different artists hit the charts at the same time.
With the
same song.
I'll be darned.
Jimmy, you have a real interesting background of a combination. Talk about life in performing and how you would sense an audience if you were playing music before an audience. Could you sense whether the audience was with you? Were you playing clubs? Were you playing little engagements? Were you playing large venues and so forth?
I've played many different. I've played in symphonies. I've played in jazz clubs. I've played in nightclubs. I've done pretty much any venue you can play it on. Cruise ships, you know.
How was a cruise ship? Did you get rocky?
It was pretty
when
fun,
you were
actually.
Playing? Did you ever play something that created rough waters for you?
No, actually, our trip was in the Caribbean, and it was pretty smooth sailing.
We were talking before on the air. We were talking about what goes through minds to come up with a song. And, you know, you could create a song, Rough Waters. And, you know, as you're playing on a cruise ship.
Sure.
And you're silencing the storm and livening the audience. What do you recall, and I don't want to put you on the spot, do you recall certain performances that stand out in your mind that the crowd just was totally either different or either exceptional?
Well, I guess what comes to my mind most recently is I do a lot of theater work.
Okay.
And I recently played at Siegel doing the bass, upright bass for their performance of Bright Star.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen that one. That was written by Steve Martin, and it's a very Appalachian bluegrass story, and it's probably one of my favorite musicals I've seen. It's very emotional, and just seeing the audience's reaction to those stories and playing that music, it's really fun for me. I prefer to do that kind of work.
It'd be an interesting experience of how many students there were not only motivated or sensitized by what they heard, but how many said to themselves, you know, I'd like to be doing something like that in the world in my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, how do you motivate somebody to take advantage of a God-given gift as music? Are people born with a music talent, or can you start from scratch and create a music talent?
Yeah, I think the people that are born with it, it certainly is a lot easier for them. I think that it can be learned, you know, person with that maybe doesn't have a more natural ability, they can learn it over time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of maybe consider myself a little bit in that category.
But the variety of your music experience, you didn't play the bass in symphony, or did you? What did
No, I my bachelor's degree is in percussion, so I did percussion work for a lot of times. But, you know, in school, there were a lot of drummers, and there was no bass players.
Wow. But as I would always ask somebody who either played the bass or played the tuba, why would you pick an instrument so large? I always remember because when I was still in Southern California, our city had a all-city band. That was a city activity, and we had students from all 3 high schools in the city in the all-city band. And one time they got the invitation to play in the Rose Parade. And I will never forget talking to the tuba players who had to walk 5 miles on New Year's Day on Colorado and Pasadena carrying the tuba. And I said, you know, playing a harmonica, playing a flute, you know, you can get away with it, but carrying that tuba, just carrying the bass.
I carried that bass in the cold all around MTSU campus.
Wow, wow. Or having a car that you can put it in the back.
Exactly. That guides a lot of your decisions.
Do you have a particular song you'd like to share?
Sure.
And always on each of these songs, why did you pick the song?
Well, this song, I guess all my songs are personal to me. And this might hit with you too, Bob. You know, we've had a lot of students come and go, some more successful. He was talking about Hunter Walkanowski competing on American Idol, and she got second place. And she's one of those, when I first saw her, I was like, this girl's going to do something, you know. So this song is written about her. And I got to say, a lot of it is also written, we had a fellow instructor teach with us named Delaney Baker. And he kind of went his own ways, and he was my bass player for many gigs around town. And as I kind of was stopping playing live music and being more of a father, he kept going. And one day, wouldn't you know, I get a text from Bob saying, Delaney Baker's on Saturday Night Live playing bass for Luke Combs. And
fantastic.
Look it up, there it is.
How's he doing now?
He's doing great. He's now playing with Brantley Gilbert, and it was good to reconnect with him. And
perfect.
So right as that was happening, I started recording my music, and then that was right around the time that Hunter Walkanowski went on her American Idol journey, and so this song came out of it. You are inspiring. You gave me hope when all my dreams were faded. I was so jaded. Gave up on believing you and me could make it. But then you showed me. You found your way, yet you remain so humble. I know you struggled. You spent so many nights and days just praying. if you should stay in. And all the times they said that you should give up, you kept your chin up. Yeah, the path you're on's a righteous one, so much to do before you're done. And all along, just know I believed in you. I've heard and seen what you can do, and now the whole world knows it too. How bright your light can shine and rescue souls like mine. So I thank you, my hero. You are courageous. Yeah, you found your darkest fears and then you faced them. You are amazing. Well, you proved it to the world that you're not crazy, that dreams can come true. And you deserve the success that's come for you, and once again proved the mountains and the valleys that you can move, and what faith can do. Well, the path you're on's a righteous one, so much to do before you're done. And all along, just know I believed in you. I've heard and seen what you can do, and now the whole world knows it too. How bright your light can shine and rescue souls like mine. So I thank you, my hero. You made it through this crazy maze, and you made it through your darkest days. Now your star is shining through, when quitting was the easy thing to do. The path you're on's a righteous one, so much to do before you're done. And all along I still believe in you. I've heard and seen what you can do, and now the whole world knows it too. How bright your light can shine and rescue souls like mine. So I thank you, my hero. My hero.
What a beautiful song. Bob, if you haven't thought of it, I want you to do it, or I'm going to do it. I am going to request the president of Montville State to include this in commencement. I think this is a gorgeous song for graduates.
Yeah.
Don't you? At the
yeah.
commencement.
I mean, it covers...
Oh.
He's talking, Hunter was inspired him and
Right.
Lane, but, that's
students.
universal.
Bob will be looking for a song right after the break.
Okay.
And tell us again why you picked this particular song and the storyline behind it.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in Chattanooga 2 days only at the Marriott downtown, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th. Register now at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstirepros.tn.com.
Hi, this is Bob Cornell, pastor of Covenant Church right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The answer that you've been looking for is found in Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross. You see, Jesus changes lives from the inside out. We would love for you to join us at Covenant Church, located at 1124 Brinkley Ave right here in Murfreesboro. We have services Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can learn more about us at our Cornell Ministries YouTube channel. We want you to grow in Christ at Covenant Church.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
This is Bill Kraus for the third and final segment with two wonderful gentlemen, Bob Fitzgerald and Jimmy Anderson, who operate a music lesson program and store here in Murfreesboro, which in a moment or two I want you to re-give the address and re-give the phone number. But Bob, how did you and Jimmy meet, and how long ago was that, 15 years?
Yeah, I'm going to say it was probably around 2009, 2010, maybe somewhere in there. And I ran the Johnny Guitars music store. We needed a new instructor because our lesson program was starting to build, and we needed someone. So we put an ad. I can't remember if it was a newspaper ad or how the ad went out. And I got about 3 or 4 applications, and I can still remember going through the applications, and everybody had some background. And then I got to this guy, Jimmy, and it's, okay, he's got a bachelor's degree in percussion, and he's taught in the high schools, and then he's got a master's degree in the bass, and it's like, it was a no-brainer. I showed it to Terry, my wife, and I said, let's just pray this guy says yes. And so
wow, and he proved the point.
And he's been the mainstay since.
One more time, give the name of the company, the address, and the phone number.
Alrighty.
Primarily because, and I attracted this show not, quote, students' potential, but parents and grandparents. Grandparents especially, I kind of look from that category, who are saying, you know, my daughter is extraordinarily talented, and she hasn't realized or taken the opportunity to explore that talent, that wonderful skill. And I think this would be a great avenue, a great journey for her to follow. So where are you located? Who are you? And how do they reach you?
You can reach us at 615-433-6852. It's Johnny.
One more time.
615-433-6852. Johnny Guitars Music Studio. We're in the Jackson Heights Shopping Center on Broad and Medical Center, right there at the corner, tucked in behind Toots and Louisiana of Seafood.
Wouldn't that be a good song to write, Toots?
I think it's been done.
Toots with the Roots. Okay, all right. Bob, what are you going to play for us?
All right, I'm going to finish it up. This song is for Bill. Bill says this is one of the first songs that I played for him in his classroom at Motlow. He kind of thought he was going to catch me off guard and sang a couple words of this song because he said it was his favorite John Denver song. He has specific memories about things in his life that he heard or that happened as he heard this song on the radio.
My father and driving to be with my mother when we learned my father passed away, and this was on the radio, and this song has much more meaning if you listen to the lyrics carefully about somebody who just passed.
One of the things I love to do is have people try to stump the band, and Bill tried to stump the band with me in front of his class, and I won.
He won.
There's a storm across the valley, clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulder. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away, and the whining of his wheels just makes it colder. Well, he's an hour away from riding on your prayers up in the sky, and 10 days on the road are nearly gone. There's a fire softly burning, supper on the stove, and a light in your eyes that keeps him warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yeah, and hey, it's good to be back home again. Well, there's all the news to tell him, just how'd you spend your time, and what's the latest thing the neighbors say. And your mother called last Friday, sunshine made her cry. You felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. And all the times that I can lay this tired old body down, feel your fingers feather soft upon me. The kisses that I live for, and the love that lights my way, the happiness that living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of, just spending time with you. The little things that make a house a home, like a fire softly burning, supper on the stove, and the light in your eyes that keeps me warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Yes, it is. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's good to be back home again.
Well, you made my day, Bob. You really did. It's been over 50 years, or close to 50 years, since that experience occurred, but the lyrics and the music still have the same impact on me. Talking as we come to a close of this very fast-moving hour, talk to me about what you would say to a young man or young woman. Are you basically dealing with young people, or have you had older people come to?
I've had all ages, yeah.
What's the old? Can you recall the oldest? that you may have had, or
70, 80, I can't remember exactly.
Jimmy usually pawns the older ones off on me.
Oh, really?
Because we relate a little more. I've got a 70-year-old student right now, and yeah, I think the oldest one that I've had, I think, was 80s.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah.
What inspired them? Did they just want to have that last journey into something that they had a love for all their life that was buried deep under?
A lot of people say, I have had this guitar for years and just never took it seriously. And
I think sometimes in retirement they're looking for something different, and they say, well, maybe I should learn to play a musical instrument. And so we take them from bare bones.
Did you ever have them perform afterwards? Do you recall?
No, none of my older ones performed.
Mr. Borch is the only. He's an adult, and he's performed. Emily, my banjo player, has performed. And they're adults.
If you ever want to bring them on the air, I'm serious. You know that no matter what age you are, music is a part of life.
That's right.
Well, I can't begin to tell you how much personally as well as professionally I have thoroughly enjoyed the two of you being with us this morning.
Thank you.
And we certainly hope you come back in another time with another story and another.
He's got, like you said, 100 of them. So
well,
you'll have us back, and Jimmy can.
Oh, we certainly will. So thank you so much, Jimmy Anderson, and thank you so much, Bob Fitzgerald, who are certainly a resource, certainly a talent, and certainly an asset for Rutherford County. We appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
See you next week, folks.